He's the founding president and chief party of PALI. The institution is aimed at driving human development, talent development, and improving human resources. This person that I'm talking about is a great leader. He's a coach, a social entrepreneur. He's a corporate trainer and a staunch Christian. He believes in the essence of family and respect for marriage. And because of that, he came here with his beautiful, able wife. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to introduce to us Mr. Frank Paa-Kumi and Mrs. Kumi. Do it better. Do it better. Do it better. Do it well. It's an honor to have you here. Welcome, sir. Welcome, madam.
Right. We met at a program that was organized it was at the Nat Hall, very close to the Ministry of Information. And two of you, your mates, they just finished school, were also selected because of their efforts they put in through a rigorous exercise to be chosen as parliamentarians, chosen as ministers. It's a shadow one. It's a shadow one. And it's an organization that helps African young men and women to become what they want to be, being mentored through leaders who have achieved. And just in 10 minutes, we are overblown by Paa-Kumi. So give it to him. And I am hoping that this short moment that is going to spend with us, your life will never be the same again. And as a person who believes in Africa, who believes in young people, and who believes in leadership attributes, your life is going to be transformed, and you become not only a nurse and a midwife, but a social entrepreneur. Give it to him.
Wow, what can I say? It's a privilege to be here, and let me say all protocols duly observed. Let me seize this opportunity to commend and acknowledge the efforts of management of this noble nursing training institution. The sub-planning team for this year's matriculation occasion, particularly the efforts of our able principal. I call her Auntie Mercy. Show her some more love. And to the over 400 plus matriculants who have satisfied all academic righteousness and fulfill selection requirements into this noble institution. Let me say a very big congratulations to you. This is a very short speech, but like Auntie Mercy said, we trust that you will pick some nuggets and you'll be challenged into your profession, even as you begin this journey. I must first of all also commend the current government for its efforts in ensuring access in terms of our healthcare delivery chain. It is a public knowledge that government efforts in restoring your allowances and also making sure that no Ghanaian is denied access to education cannot be overemphasized. And let us applaud them when it is required to do so. Having said this, I would like to take you to a simple journey. I would like us to ask ourselves some relevant questions as a country. Number one, where are we as a country? The parameters are, in terms of Human Development Index, where are we? We are placed under the medium human development category, meaning that out of 189 countries, Ghana is placed under 138 in terms of the League of Nations. What we mean by Human Development Index is that when you put all parameters of development, healthcare, education, social safety net, where do we fall as a country? And according to the UNDP report, we are 138 out of 189 in the League of Nations. Our life expectancy ratio as a country, according to data, stands at 64.17. Comparatively with almighty Norway, they are 82.64, meaning that the average Norwegian dies at the age of 82 thereabout, whilst the average Ghanaian dies at the age of 64 averagely. It means that, ladies and gentlemen, we die too early. But God is our helper. Amen. Now, again, in terms of gross tertiary ratio, data says that we are at 18.8%. If you combine all the colleges of education, the university, the tertiary, the technical university together, we are at 18.8%. So you must be privileged to be here. Show yourself some love by giving yourself a hand of applause. Critical question is that where does the 80% of young people in Ghana go? Either some of them drop out at the basic level, or after high school they are unable to continue, or some of them never go beyond primary education. I'm addressing where we are as a country, and it will make sense to you very soon. Why are we where we are? In fact, you know the cost of living keep rocketing. Transportation, cost of food, etc. keep rocketing. Why are we where we are? Or why are we where we find ourselves as a country? In my considered view, the absence of what I call strong exemplary leadership is one. Number two, the lack of ethical leaders with less ethical principles is number two. Number three is unpatriotic society. When I was way back in high school, a gentleman in our dormitory intentionally tampered with the mosquito-proof net. He torn it apart. And when our senior house master came around, I owned him out. And those days, the scripture union people, they call us chukers. They say we chook. And I confronted the gentleman and said that if you do not have the guts or the audacity to defend your action, why did you do it in the first place? So we are growing a society that people say Ghana Nyawodia. I have seen students who have clothes from school in their school uniform, literally littering the environment. And this is what I call unpatriotic Ghanaian society. And also lack of responsive citizenry. Having taken a diagnosis, a short diagnosis of why we are where we are as a country, let me offer the following recommendations, and then we can be out of here. Number one, I'm calling for what I call a holistic orientation of the Ghanaian society. What do I mean? I hosted a professor from the state of Michigan, a lady professor, and the husband of this professor was a carpenter. And the woman was proud. He was telling me, Frank, you know my husband, he can do this, he can do this. In the Ghanaian society, become a professor and take a carpenter to your mother. We have to call for fire service. Other than that, there will be war and fire outbreak in the house. Your old friends and peers will begin to question you, why do you go for a carpenter? Again, we have left driving, the driving profession, we have left it to, excuse my language, drop out. And they are killing us softly on our roads. We need to reorient our mindset. When I went to Europe, driving is a decent profession. People are in their jackets, people are in their suits, and they are recognized as a profession. The time and the days where we look down upon plumbing, we look down upon carpentry, driving as mega jobs has to change. That's what I call a holistic reorientation of the mindset of the Ghanaian. Number two, our approach to formal education, training and development, our human resource, how we train human resources is another area of concern. I've gone to some offices, ministries and departments, and you get there, the reception wants to solve your problem for you at the reception. Person services, the first question is that, do you have an appointment? What type of training is that? If I don't have an appointment and I want to see him, does that deprive me? So how we even train secretaries and front desk officers needs to change. Their attitude sometimes is appalling. I've sent letters to ministers of state that when I've gone to do a follow-up, they ask me, did you bring another letter? Because it's lost in the system. This has to change. These things I've spoken about has some policy implications. But what about your persona? What can you do? And that's where I'm ending. I'm calling for what I call self-leadership. We find ourselves in a country that you have to take your destiny to your own hands. I'm telling you. Forget about what the political leaders are telling us. The future doesn't look so bright as they want to paint it. If you check the statistics, the data, the debt portfolio of this country, you will be shocked. The future is being mortgaged. You got to take a personal responsibility. 20 years ago, I was a people teacher. Oh yeah. It took self-leadership. What is self-leadership? Self-leadership simply means that you become aware of your potentials and you take full responsibility. It means that go outside your curriculum. As you have come, there's going to be several, subjects that you are to be taught. However, you have to go even outside the scope of your original curriculum and learn, read books, do research, read books, search for knowledge. I believe these two Ghanaian teenagers. I've cited them in my maiden book. DJ Switch and then Abraham Atta. These young Ghanaians are on the global stage. They are on the global stage not by courtesy of formal education. It is by self-empowerment. They have empowered themselves. Buy books to read. Buy books to read. Again, listen to information. Some of you, news is nothing to you. I was in a taxi some time ago, and when it was getting to the news session, the driver changed it to music, and I confronted him. I said, the information that is coming can be a relevant information to you. Why do you change the frequency? We need to change as a people. And that's why when the former president, Jay Rawlings, when he was alive, may his soul rest in peace, you can't say, ladies and gentlemen, he spoke with that passion because he can't understand how we do things. I know you are aware on social media, a nurse left from work in Dodowa 4 months ago. She's called Vera. She's never been found. You know it. So you are not listening to news. How will you know the trends of insecurity in our country? Do you know that you can just board Uber and taxi and that will be the end of you? because they can put a central locker, and if the grace of God doesn't descend on you, this is the Ghanaian society you are building. Anybody at all can put a commercial car and say he's driving. When we have district municipal authorities supposed to regulate and ensure your personal safety, people are missing. It's concern to me. People are dying on the road. It's concern to me. In the face of this, self-leadership is the way to go. Because if you talk, you will be MPP NDC. And they'll do their things in parliament. When it's about ex gratia, they all agree. My mother is a retired community midwife nurse. Her take-home pension is less than 40,000 Ghana cedis. But when they go to parliament, every 4 years, if they are retiring, calculate what they take. It is high time you take your personal welfare, well-being into your hands. What helped me to migrate from a people teacher to a public figure is some of the things that I'm sharing with you. Attend conference, seminars, learn. Create a certain environment that you'll be in charge of your destiny. Right? So, in conclusion, I take it as a privilege for the opportunity to share few thoughts with you. And whether we like it or not, this is our continent. Africa is our continent. Ghana is our place of birth. Unfortunately, the policy environment is not helping. I have a friend, the cousin got 4 Fs, few E and few D. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the person traveled to the United States of America, and I can announce to you that the person is a full medical doctor. Yes. In the best places of jurisdiction, they don't throw away talent. I have said on national television that the African environment submerged and dump eagles. The eagle in Ghanaians, it will be submerged by this environment. If you do not embrace the concept of self-leadership, where you lead yourself and say, irrespective of the constraints. Another gentleman, he completed HND accountancy, Accra here. Worked with the Ghana Health Service as an accountant. Traveled to Russia. He's now a medical doctor. Is it possible in Ghana? No. On this note, I congratulate you and welcome you. Have a successful journey. Thank you so much.
What a powerful message. The man is burning to see a change. And I wish that fire gets into you so that you also cause a great change in this nation. Thank you, sir. God bless you. We wish to have more of you. Thank you.